Okay folks, this is a real COVID-19 lockdown special. Let's see if I can make it look any good. Although we haven't had the panic buying that was expected, there was a little bit at the beginning of the lockdown, of our recent lockdown, but it seems to have stabilised, which is good. Obviously the news channels are doing a good job advising people that there's enough toilet roll to go round. If you don't get in there and panic buy, the shops will always be open, so don't worry, you know, that sort of thing. I'm just wondering why I was meant to do this. Wondering we're going to make it teal. I don't know how this is going to look, but this is something you probably guess what it is, what this COVID-19 article is all about, or it's an article that's become very popular. But it's also been the butt of humour, as in the butt, get it? You'll find out why. Alright, what was this thing that's the butt of COVID-19 humour and stress at the same time? It is none other than dunny roll, okay, or toilet paper, dunny roll. Okay, we're interested in that little froggy. I bought this during the first part of the lockdown, if I remember correctly, and I noticed there was a bit of panic buying that had happened, and I couldn't get my favourite brand that I normally buy, which is totally plastic free, and basically I bought this because I didn't want to buy Quilton or Sorbent or Kleenex, and this was on special. But the thing I find annoying about this kind of toilet paper is that it is touted as environmentally friendly, but it's still wrapped in plastic. Why can't they wrap it in paper instead? I don't understand why they tout this as environmentally friendly when the plastic isn't. I don't know if the plastic's recycled, it doesn't say. But it's not as good as you'd hope it would be. Anyway, that's come up looking quite a treat. Wondering if we're going to just enlarge the frog, or we're going to keep the actual name. Wondering if we're going to keep the frog. I don't know what we're going to do with this, folks. Maybe move it across. Maybe we could make this into an interesting one, a different sort of piece that I was thinking of just enlarging the frog on its own, but I'm thinking I'm going to keep the rest of the graphic. Yeah, I think we moved it over too far. Maybe we could just enlarge the frog. That was the original intent, was to enlarge the frog. So I'm going to go and enlarge the frog. I do think that would look a lot more interesting. So the frog, I should have enlarged him bigger. So I'm going to blow him up further. So he's going to be 260 by 260. But yeah, this is the this is the COVID way of things, is that people become paranoid about missing out on toilet paper, and they like to panic buy toilet paper. For some reason it makes them feel safe or something. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why, folks, why people who are supposedly sane go out and panic buy tons of dunny roll. Then you get the problem of FOMO amongst those who normally don't want to panic buy, but they still buy because they worry they're going to miss out. So that's what happened to me. I was worried I was going to miss out, so I bought this just in case. But I only just bought one. I didn't go and buy a whole stack of them. I think that's where the difference lies, is in how much toilet paper that you actually purchase. But basically, yeah, I was really worried that I wasn't going to get it because of the idiots. I don't know how this is going to look. So yeah, I'll have a use for this eventually. I've got enough dunny roll for me. I'm not going to buy any more, I don't think, for a little bit. So I'm just going to work out how to enlarge this frog, how to place this frog on the glass. I think that's pretty much approximately how we're going to do it. Yeah, that looks really quite interesting, that frog's head. We weren't expecting to do that. Maybe that's how we're going to run it, how we're going to run our job, something like that, a little bit more, not quite abstract, but something a little bit different. I was going to show some of the writing on the toilet paper thingy, but I decided not to. Now that looks really nice. That looks really interesting, different to what I was planning on doing it. Sometimes plans, when I do this photocopier art, folks, I often change my mind as to how I'm going to pull it off and what the picture's going to look. However much I turn it over in my head, sometimes thinking how something's going to be. Sometimes I worry about it, thinking, how am I going to do this? This is a really difficult original. And then something happens by surprise like this. And yeah, something I don't expect. My intuition really knows how to kick in when I least expect it. And I wasn't expecting to enlarge this. And I like the printer's dots and I like the iridescent colours. It's turned up a treat. This is probably the nicest toilet paper picture I've ever done, perhaps, so far. Maybe it's a little bit on the minimalist side, but it still works. Or at least from what I can tell. So this is our toilet paper frog. This will be a little bit difficult trying to locate. I'll just use those little dots as a guide to sliding these pieces into place. Not easy, folks, but anyway, a little bit on the minimalist side, but there you have it. Toilet paper frog reimagined.